So, once again, I want to reiterate that there is no such thing as a good Christian. It is impossible. Now, before you get super triggered, let me be clear. You can be a good person who, despite being a Christian, is still a righteous and nice and caring individual. That is possible. But you cannot be a good Christian in the same way that there is no such thing as a good cop. That's right. The church as an institution is directly comparable to policing as an institution. The church as an institution was created as a controlling mechanism to cull the population of undesirables, kill people that did not conform and agree, and indoctrinate everyone else. That is the same thing that police do. What do police do? They are there to kill black people, kill disabled people, kill people that have mental health issues. And what else does that do is it instills the fear of police, and it creates a society where everyone else has to march in line. There is no such thing as a good Christian. I'm sorry, it's a myth. It's made up. I don't give a fuck about your quote-unquote personal relationship with Jesus. That is irrelevant to me. When someone starts talking about their personal relationship with Jesus, I go, why? Because that's some fucking creepy shit. So again, when you say that Jesus is really magical, yeah, don't worry, guys. You know, I get it. I don't hate gay people. Those Christians, they're using faith in a bad way. And I'm here to say that Jesus doesn't hate gay people. Jesus is still magic, and he has a magical hold over our society, and so do the angels that are watching us, and the Holy Spirit and all this stuff. Sometimes it's a spirit, sometimes it's a ghost, who the fuck knows? Right? That's all true. It's just we disagree on whether or not we should kill gay people. Now, I say this as an anarchist, as someone who is fundamentally left wing. What is left wing in this country? Equality. I believe in equality. I don't fucking worship anybody. I think being a leftist and being a Christian are mutually exclusive. You're telling me that you want me to believe that you believe in equality, and yet you think that there's some magical sky daddy who exists above all of us, who is better than all of us, and we have to listen to him or have faith in him or whatever the fuck. That is an unnecessary hierarchy I don't fucking believe in. And so again, there is no such thing as a good Christian, because to be a Christian is to perpetuate systems. Again, what is the largest child rape syndicate of all time throughout all of human history? The Catholic Church is the largest child rape syndicate in the history of our species. Oh, but then you get people, oh, that's the Catholic Church. Look at me. I'm not Catholic. I'm Baptist. I'm Protestant. I'm some other made up bull fucking shit to make you feel better as you perpetuate and agree with the same systems that keep people like me, queer people, oppressed for thousands and thousands of years. Queer people had a great time until Christians showed up. Now, again, I'm not, there's a lot of other societies that hated queer people too. But what I am saying is Christians took over the world, and now everyone wants to kill people like me. So I don't know, man. But that is all the preamble for this news story. Exhibit 7,500,419,603,400.6. As to why there's no such thing as a good Christian. Southern Baptists expel U.S. churches with female pastors. Now again, a lot of people are like, oh, that's just the Southern Baptists. Those guys are crazy. Oh, that's just the Western whatever. Those guys are crazy. Oh, that's just the Catholics. Those guys are crazy. Now earlier, right, in my show, I was talking about divorced parents playing the blame game. And that's all this is. That's what this is. This is the divorced parents playing the blame game. You're fucking up my kid. No, you're fucking up my kid. No, it's you who fucked up my kid. You're not. That's all this is. Oh, no. Southern Baptists, they're the bad guys. The Western Baptists, the Eastern, the Northern fucking North, Southeastern, Southwestern, Baptists, they're all great. But it's those guys. No, it's not me. I have no responsibility. It's you. It's you. It's you. Well, let's keep going here. By let's keep going, I mean, let's start. The U.S.'s largest Baptist denomination has voted to expel 2 churches for having female pastors. A vote by the Southern Baptist Convention members found Southern Californian megachurch Saddleback and Kentucky's Fern Creek Baptist Church were not in friendly cooperation with SBC, the Baptist Press reported. SBC's mission statement says the office of the pastor should be limited to men. Fern Creek's pastor told CBS News it was a sad day for Southern Baptists. This is, again, you may have heard this phrase, but I didn't know the leopards would eat my face, says the person who voted for the Leopards Eating Faces party. That's what this is. Whoa! I only dedicated my life to enabling institutions of hierarchy and child rape. I didn't know that one of these days they would come for me. The church is a Protestant denomination of Christianity with congregations led by pastors. In total, 5 churches have been expelled from SBC for being led by women. 2 were overwhelmingly voted out at SBC's annual convention in New Orleans after they had tried. This is a cult. I need you to understand Christianity is a cult. And I know, shocking. You've never heard that before. But I mean, okay, so we have this convention where if you're a woman who speaks out of turn, you get culled from the cult. You just get kicked out of the cult. Oh, you're a woman who spoke out of turn. Oh, banned. I don't even know. Like, what? This is a sad day for Southern Baptists because they are losing gifted and talented and called women of God. See, this is no, they're not. They're not losing that. Like, and this is the coping mechanism here. It's like, imagine you got kicked out of church for being a woman. I covered this story where some gay woman who was talking about how she was gay or whatever got kicked out of church. And they're going to learn the opposite lesson. They're going to double down on Jesus. This should be, oh fuck, the entire organization I've dedicated my life to has just said they don't want me because I'm a woman. Well, I know what to do. I'm going to rededicate my life to them. Are you dumb? Are you a stupid fucking bitch? Because you sound like one. If this is not a lesson learned for you to ditch the cult, then my God, y'all are some dumb shit for brains bitches. I don't know what else to tell you. Messengers voted for, this is a quote, for conformity and uniformity rather than unity. Yeah, it's a fucking religion. What did you expect? Mike Law, a pastor at the Arlington Baptist Church, a real pastor, because he's a man, so he's a real one. Unlike any of these fake, uppity, spoken out of turn women. Bitches, really. Puts us all on the same page about what a pastor is and who is a pastor. A biblically qualified man. I need you to understand there is no such thing as a good Christian. And I know there's a lot of people that want to have their tokens, their excuses. Oh, I know someone who seems like a good person and they believe in Jesus. Yeah, they are a good person despite believing in Jesus. Once again, there's a difference between good person, good Christian, okay? I know a lot of people struggle with adjectives and basic forms of speech, but good is an adjective that describes Christian in this instance. You cannot be a good Christian because to be a Christian is to be to perpetuate systems that are, again, enabling the largest amounts of child rape that this world has ever seen. Also enable, again, the othering of minorities, even in such cases of women in this instance, right? When you pretend that these institutions have any credibility, which they don't, and by pretending that Jesus is a real magical person that you have a personal relationship with, give me a fucking break, by the way, what you're doing is pretending like these people have some sort of touchness, you know, they're touched by God in some way, there's, you know, something about the cult is real, otherwise, you know, it wouldn't be there, right? So, again, to be a Christian is to perpetuate systems of violence, to perpetuate systems of sexism, to perpetuate systems of homophobia, despite your own personal, it's not my fault, bro, it's not my fault, bro, I didn't do it, bro, I didn't do it, bro. It's always everyone else's fault but you. And I say this, by the way, on the same instance when it comes to Muslims, when it comes to other violent fucking religions that are going all across the world. Now, I live in a Christian theocracy. I don't live in a Muslim theocracy. But if I lived in Saudi Arabia, if I lived in Afghanistan, you bet your sweet ass, motherfucking shit for brains bippy that I would be saying the same thing about those shitty fucking religions. Look at what's going on in Israel. Israel's committing Holocaust 2.0. Why? Well, because we're Jewish and God said we could. So let me get this straight. Adolf Hitler kills 6 million Jewish people. And then, less than 100 years later, those Jewish people that got their own country carved out of nowhere, right, are now committing Holocaust 2 on Muslim people. Wow. Now, once again, all that does is say that what goes around comes around, right? Trauma is generational. Now, am I saying all Jewish people are evil? No. Am I saying all Muslims are evil? No. Of course not. But to be somebody that believes in this God, you are perpetuating systems of evil. It's just a fact. It's just a fact. God isn't real, and when you fucking pretend that he is, you're giving the people that are using that God to commit heinous acts of violence undue credibility that they do not deserve. So again, fuck all these religions, but I live in a Christian theocracy, so this is the one I focus on. But again, I know people get triggered. You can be a good person who believes in Jesus or whatever, and that's a blemish on your otherwise being a good person. Because when you believe in Jesus or believe in God or believe in, you know, God's plan, or that God could have a plan, or that God exists, and if God exists, then he might have a plan, what you're doing is giving, again, the cloak of night, if you will, to the child rapists, and to the genocide apologists, and to those committing a Holocaust, to those living and perpetuating apartheid states, to those that are trying to kill queer people, those that are trying to excommunicate women for speaking out of turn, right? You are enabling that by pretending that they have more than 0% credibility, because what they really have is 0%. They have no credibility. But when you pretend that Jesus is real, there's a Holy Ghost, you know, Muhammad, some guy that I should respect or whatever, can't draw a picture of him because he's that fucking cool. You know, when you do that, you are enabling the worst actors in the space. And come up with whatever coping mechanisms you want. I know for a fact. Christians watching my show, I'm not converting anyone to atheism here. I get it, right? People watch my show, you're going to be a Christian or whatever, and you're going to deal with disagreeing with me because of your personal relationship with Jesus, right? I get it. It's so foundational to your identity because you don't know how to think for yourself. I understand. I get it. But you know what? This is a show for the atheist perspective. And so, not only that, at the anti-theist perspective, I hate religion. I want to see the end of religion. And I think religious people, there's a part of them, no matter how good that they are, there's a part of them that is just fundamentally broken inside until they realize it and they can fix it. And hey, you know, just because something's broken doesn't mean you can't fix it, and doesn't mean it can't be beautiful. Look up kintsugi, right? This is an art form where you take a broken vase, you repair it, and what do? You meld it together with like little gold paste or whatever, and then it's like super fucking adorable. You know, look up kintsugi. So again, you can fix yourself anytime, but just because you know, you're broken doesn't mean it's not worth fixing, right? So anyway, with all that in mind, that's the end of my religion segment.